Pocus 3 is on its way, with the Sanderson Sisters likely returning for another magical adventure. Screenwriter Jen D'Angelo mentioned that the new movie is being developed with full idealism. "We're still in the story phase, we're still working on it," she told EW in October 2023. "We've been brainstorming ideas, and it's been fun to jump back into that world. We have many directions to explore and plenty of new characters to introduce," D'Angelo added, expressing excitement about expanding Hannah Waddingham's character in the next movie. However, there's no release date yet for when the movie will be available on Disney+. Disney's Sean Bailey confirmed that Hocus Pocus 3 was in development in June 2023 after the success of the sequel on the streaming platform. According to The Wrap, Anne Fletcher, the director of Hocus Pocus 2, is returning for the third film. While the ending of Hocus Pocus 2 seemed conclusive, a post-credit scene hinted at the possibility of the Sanderson sisters' return. So will there be a Hocus Pocus 3? Here's what we know so far, and fair warning, there are major spoilers for Hocus Pocus 2 ahead. Hocus Pocus 3 potential release date. When could Hocus Pocus 3 be released? Disney has confirmed Hocus Pocus 3, but there's no official release date yet. Hopefully, we won't have to wait another 29 years for a new Hocus Pocus movie. There's a slim chance it could be released by Halloween 2024, but it's more likely to come out by Halloween 2025. For now, we'll just have to wait for more updates. Now with that, let's discuss the cast of Hocus Pocus 3 and who will return for Hocus Pocus 3. Even though the sequel wrapped up in a certain way, more on that later, it's tough to picture Hocus Pocus 3 without Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy returning as the Sanderson sisters. Whitney Peak, one of the stars from the sequel, told EW they can always come back. Making a third movie without the Sanderson sisters would be really challenging because it's their movie. They are Hocus Pocus. It's hard to think about what a movie would be like without them. Najimy hinted that while you can never say never, the three of them feel like they've wrapped up their roles. "I feel like we're done," she said. "We've explored every story we could. I suppose you never know, but I'm thankful we got to do it again. I don't know if there are any plans for a third one." When Hocus Pocus 2 came out, Bette Midler, one of the Sanderson sisters, hinted she might be up for a return. Midler shared, "If there was a third one, of course I'd sign on, but I don't know how. I can't imagine what the story would be, but I love Winifred, Sarah, Mary, and our relationship. It's good for women. We stick together through hell and high water, though we do cause a lot of mayhem, and not many women cause that much mayhem." However, if there's a third movie, Doug Jones's character Billy Butcherson probably won't be back. He moved on to the afterlife when Winnie disappeared at the end of the sequel. Her curse finally lifted. Since there aren't any other major deaths, the rest of the Hocus Pocus 2 cast could return. This includes Whitney Peak as Becca, Belissa Escobedo as Izzy, Lilia Buckingham as Cassie, as well as Sam Richardson, Tony Hale, and others. Screenwriter Jen D'Angelo mentioned that Hannah Waddingham might have a bigger role in the next movie. "We've only scratched the surface of Hannah Waddingham's Mother Witch," she told EW in October 2023. The young trio from the sequel seems eager for a return. Lilia Buckingham told EW, "If there's a third, I want one of us to get corrupted by power. I just know it would be Cassie." Whitney Peak is also enthusiastic about another movie and even has an idea for it. "There was maybe potentially a second black flame candle at the end of the movie, and somebody's going to have to light it," she told Hollywood Life. "Maybe it's my turn to put some kids in their place." Additionally, some of the original stars who weren't in Hocus Pocus 2 have expressed interest in appearing in a third film. Jason Marsden, the voice of Binks the Cat, said he would absolutely join the threequel. Vanessa Shaw, who played Allison, is also keen to return. "Yeah, it's such a fun story, and obviously, having us reminisce about this makes it that much more fun, and the fondness keeps growing," she said. Omri Katz, who played Max, added in June 2023 after the third movie was announced, said, Yes, I would return if Disney approached me. It would be an honor to return, hopefully with some of my fellow castmates, and make a fun addition to the franchise. Now the only thing that is left to discuss is the plot. In the first movie, because we're going back in time, way back, it all started in 1693, a spooky town called Salem. 3 wild witches, the Sanderson Sisters, were causing trouble. A brave boy named Thackeray tried to stop them, but got turned into a cat for his efforts. Not exactly a perfect turn of events. Before the witches got what was coming to them, being hanged by the townsfolk, the eldest one, Winifred, cast a spell. They'd be back if a virgin lit a special black candle. Fast forward to 1993, a new kid named Max moves to Salem and things get interesting. He lights the black candle by accident, whoops, and the Sanderson sisters are back for a second chance to suck the life out of all of the kids. But Max, along with his little sister Danny and his crush Allison, aren't going down without a fight. With a 300-year-old cat and a zombie ex-boyfriend of Winifred's on their side, it's a Halloween showdown to remember. For the second movie, it all started way back in Salem, 1653. A teenage witch named Winifred Sanderson wasn't exactly following the rules. Think school rebel, but with pointy hats and cauldrons. She refused to marry some boring guy named John, so the grumpy reverend kicked her out of town. Winifred, along with her witchy sisters Sarah and Mary, hightailed it to a spooky forest. There, they met a super cool, super old witch who gave Winifred a magical spell book. Way cooler than a birthday card, right? Fast forward to 2022, almost 30 years after the first big craziness. A young witch in training named Becca is having a sweet 16th birthday party with her friends. They get a mysterious black candle from a cool magic shop owner, and guess what? They accidentally use it to bring the Sanderson sisters back. Now Winifred, Sarah, and Mary are on the loose again, looking for some children to munch on, yikes, and get revenge on that reverend's family, oops. It's up to Becca and her friends to stop these hungry witches before they cause more trouble than a cauldron full of exploding potions. Now let's know how much of Hocus Pocus 2 set up Hocus Pocus 3. The sequel brings back the Sanderson sisters because Becca and Izzy light a special candle. Although the first movie seemed to end their threat, a hidden clue hints at another candle's existence. There's a twist though. This time, the witches aren't defeated by sunrise. Instead, a spell by Winnie backfires, separating her from her sisters. A new witch named Becca tries to help, but accidentally sends Winnie somewhere else, possibly an afterlife. It's unclear if the new candle can bring the witches back from the afterlife, which could weaken the impact of the second movie. Hopefully, a third film would explore something completely different. An actress from the movie hints at future possibilities. There could be a new coven with Becca and her friend, or the Sanderson sisters might return for another showdown. Well, that's it for today. What are your hopes for Hocus Pocus 3? Would you like to see the Sanderson sisters return, or do you think it's time for a new story with Becca and Izzy? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on all things Hocus Pocus.